pledge. Thanks. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Can you read
Yes.
the...
Dedication?
Yeah.
You doing that
So,
first?
yeah. So we're going to do things a little out of order tonight.
Thank you, Bob.
Last week we had to skip the dedication of the town report, but because of the snow. So tonight we're going to dedicate the 2022 town report to Albert Skip Belanger. And Bob's going to read the little narrative that we put together.
Dedication 2022, Albert Skip Belanger. Albert and Sandra Belanger moved to Brentwood, New Hampshire from Exeter, New Hampshire in 1964. We won't hold that against you. Hey, you lived in Exeter. So did I.
Hey.
I lived there too. Exeter's loss was Brentwood's gain, which is true. If ever there was somebody deeply vested in Brentwood's history, it is most certainly Albert Skip Belanger. Most of us know Skip as a long-standing member of both the Brentwood Historical Society's 1970s to present and the Cemetery Trustees from 1996 to present. But his volunteerism does not stop there. His long list of accolades includes serving as a member of Brentwood's Volunteer Fire Department in 1966, serving on the Brentwood Town Seal Committee in 1977, volunteering on the Town Office Building Expansion Project of 1978, serving on Brentwood's Bicentennial Committee in 1975 for the celebration in 1976, volunteering for the town numbering system in 1988, and assisting with the Brentwood newsletter, among other things. As a member of the Brentwood Historical Society, he has a wealth of knowledge for all things Brentwood. His love of genealogy and history made him a key participant in creating the Brentwood, New Hampshire through the years 1942 to 2001, 275th, I think, is that 2021? 275th anniversary history book. Even before he was cemetery trustee, Skip was active in mowing the town cemeteries, and he continues to be active member of the cemetery department. Since 2002, Skip has recited the Gettysburg Address from memory at the Brentwood's Memorial Day ceremony. At the end of each town meeting session, Skip takes it upon himself to stand before the attendees and recognize those residents that have passed and acknowledged their contributions to the town. Skip was a 7th grade English and French teacher at Hampton Academy Junior High, and who better to write a book or two after researching the Oregon Trail saga for over 30 years and accumulating many trail journals and information. Skip wrote the book on the Oregon Trail in 1851. Skip and Sandra even traveled part of the trail to pay homage to those who actually were on the trail. Outside of teaching and all things Brentwood, Skip spent many summers at Hampton Beach working for the Park Patrol. In July of 2013, after having worked for the Park Patrol for over 50 years, Skip was awarded the state Senate resolution of Senator Nancy Stiles, earning him the title of Mayor of Hampton Beach. Over the years, Skip has been devoted to Brentwood and his family. He enjoys spending time with his wife, 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren.
presentation. Having a snow week, you get a chance to prepare. It wasn't a surprise anymore, so. I'm going to try to commit this to memory. Well, actually,
If you've never seen him do the Gettysburg Address, it is incredible to see. He does an amazing job.
Lincoln's raised his
Well, the little note, the long remember what we're saying here tonight. Of course, that was Lincoln's words, but it proved to be untrue. But I'm going to try to feed his record 2-minute speech. But I was told that the select board had decided to dedicate the town report to me this year. I was very surprised, honestly. And I felt a little awkward and embarrassed, actually, because I know there are a lot of other people in town who have spent a lot of time on various organizations and elected officials, et cetera, and volunteers who are higher up on the list of people that should get this honor. I've just been trying to keep up with all the people who have, over the years, got involved in volunteer organizations and elected positions to make Brentwood the great place that it is now. The first thing that Sandy and I discovered when we moved to town in 1964 was there were so many people involved in the volunteer organizations and elected officials and people who participated on various panels. And so right then and there we said, we better get involved ourselves. So we began to get involved in local activities. That old adage is true. It says, the something that you do is not as important as that you do something. And a lot of people in Brentwood have taken that motto to heart. The participation of so many people in Brentwood is what makes it the great place that it is. We brought up 4 children here, Stephen, Diane, Aaron, and Daniel. 2 of them still live in town. I do appreciate that select on me, but I need a little time in this little line to acknowledge and thank my wife Cindy for her part whenever I am in town. Her patience, just changes made when you are involved in the town, changing cancellation of and everything. It's always been there, and hopefully acknowledge that and thank you for your part.
Oh, you're welcome.
Do you want a picture with the book with your family?
Yeah, why don't you post up here?
Get the whole family, all the flowers.
We also got the cheese.
Why don't you go stand over there? Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can leave your coat on, whatever Whatever you want. Somebody here to hold me up?
That includes.
Even if you have to.
Unseen face.
Good looking group. You got them all? Are they there? Okay.
We got two more people.
Yeah, he's a, get him by the flag. Yes. There you go, look at that. What a family portrait.
Everyone smile. Brentwood's the
Copies will be available.
I moved the chairs way over so it would be.
I already slid it down.
There you go.
Here's the chair. Here's one. Squeeze in.
Okay, gonna move on to business. We had 2 checks this week, one to Charles Fitzgerald for $1534.62, and one to Kerry Mason for $410.71, for a total of $1,945.33.
You don't get.
She gets it.
Yes.
I'm just gonna collect them all. And then Jillian Benedict, 640.52, Karen Clement, 1,289, Heather, 312.84, Tamara Peak, 776.45, Daphne, 853.72, Katie Coppola is 206.79, is 142, Lance Hall is 220.08, Janice Weir, 45.1, Keith Hall, 33.74, Caleb Smith is 27.70, Joyce Kegel is 590.62, Kip Kaiser is 89.02, Thomas is 6.7, Jason Gag 146.61, Ray is 670.93, Katie Blazek 835.34, Jeffrey Collins is 1,606.45, Wayne Robinson is 1,066.60, George Whitman is 1,311.36, Brack 83.65, Justin Doty 134, Robert Gagnon 775.54, Matt Kelly 1,151.80, Saltzman is 46.38 for Spitaler 1,073.97, Josh Turner is 196.7, Sure is $1,404.10, Jeremy Worcester 595, Jared Wright Ward 47.90, Joseph $1,115.15, Brian is $690.22, Keith Culligan is $271.99, Julie Levante is $495.77, Barry Levine is $586.89, Nathan Richards is $1,092.05, Katrina Tennant $624.46, Trevor Whitby is $1,031.89, Eli Corson is $1,001.06, Cater is $330, Grant is $373.67, John Isabel is $419.92, Erica Kenyon is $619.65, William Kenyon is $117.74, Peter $424, Caleb is $240.34, Gail Burgess is $780, Connor is $46.53, Rachel is $12.70.
total of $30,320.09. Total of $1,005. Had 15 hours of PD, 5 hours overtime.
Ben's uniform, 2014, vet, 1,077, S270, E&J parts is $45.79, car wash is $83, Eversource is $826.8, Formax $80 even, oil is $2,701.60, Joyce Kegel, Liberty Trucks $554.4, Monarch is $398, salts $4,048.87, Coast Emergency Response $1,700, Southeast Regional is $4,139.66, Stratum Tires $163.67, Suburban Propane is $594.66, Automotive Repair is $139, even Universe Corp $63, Valak is $245, USA is $127, corporate $151.
Total $1,077.
I
Thank
just
you.
want to Bob, your services last
Appreciate
meeting.
it.
You working with
Appreciate it. It's been great work. My last meeting until next week is the election, and then I won't have to be sworn at by Daphne anymore. She just flipped me off, just so everyone knows.
So you will.
I don't know if it was her waving to me or not. I got bad eyes.
I'm sure she was waving.
That is an excuse.
Motion of John Moore.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? I'm an aye.
What is this?
Bob?
Consent agenda.
Second on the
Second.
consent. Moved and seconded on. Contains minutes from 228, minutes from 228, which are sealed, the record manifest, the treasurer's report, and building. All in favor? Jen?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
John? And I'm an aye.
Don't have any.
Daphne, has an announcement to make? Come on down.
All has to do with elections. Setting up for election on Monday. Clear, we're having the election at school. So if anybody wants to come at 3 o'clock, we're working close and let's tables.
On Monday.
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 Yes. The select board and the school board to try available the week after election in the event that we have the recount. It's just a heads up.
And include me.
No, because I just heard your announcement that
Make sure. Skip told me.
ballots were reprinted without the question on them, so nobody has to worry about that. Next thing I wanted to talk about, there's been a lot of questions about planning position. In the event that he is elected, he does have to step off the planning board. He is aware of that. You can have cannot have two select board individuals on the board. so he would have to come off. He could be the rep. If Morgan continues to be the board rep, cannot have, so he would come off.
Alternatively,
Can we just remind people, a year, the select board updates who sits on, so my select board person on the phone.
right. And Don, I looked at that because I saw it around. To me, like, it would be up to this board to decide if he wanted to stay on the planning board. We just can't then send another select board member as ex officio. We'd have to send somebody different.
That's correct. And if you decided that you were going to be the planning board person, he could and also
Correct.
be planning board.
I understand.
So-
Yeah.
But he would leave if
So
he
can
was.
we just restate that he does not need to step down necessarily?
Well,
Well,
he
he
would have to step
If
down
he-
as elected to become the officio.
No, he actually official election and our FBO member does not be another select board member. He has that
Well,
option
then he's a voting member of the board.
to send a select board member town as an ex officio.
Why would we do that though?
Just RSA.
That's just what the RSA probably is to have. There's
If anyone's in, the RSA is 673.2. There's one there, 72.5. And the board does have information. Mr. Klein is also aware of the situation. Is that good? Everyone's all set with that?
Gil,
Excuse me? No.
what the RSA says is that two people on the planning board cannot also be on another town board together like the select board. So what we could do is have him stay and then have John or myself or Andy or somebody become the ex officio member, because that would be two select board members on the same planning board, which is not allowed. So there's two things that could happen if he wins his election. One, he can keep his elected seat, and this board can decide to send a different ex officio member that is not sitting on the board. Right in the RSA, it's a town official. Or he steps down his position, and either he or one of the other of us ex officio member. And so we would cross that bridge if it becomes an issue. That's what the Municipal Society say clarifies. I think that there's the cleanest option may be for him to step down, but that would be a discussion that would come up if and when it comes up in a week.
Liz, you have a question?
Yeah, how would somebody else go on the
Just
planning board?
name and,
Liz, for yourself, Robert, how would somebody else go on the planning board? If he is elected to the select board, and then he's the select rep.
He wouldn't be the board rep. He'd be a member, an elected member as he is now.
I think the question is how's it filled to step?
The select board would have a different ex officio member.
No, his elected,
Not the select board, the planning.
He steps down. I believe it's appointed chair.
What?
Chair of
Planning board.
planning,
a vote.
Anybody can,
I would,
I mean, all already see
anybody see
that would be moved up to a full member.
Town council on this,
about what?
whether he has to step down?
Well, it's not an issue to spend money on.
Until it happens. One of the concerns,
so we
Did
still
we?
not really clear.
I think that was pretty good. Am I all set?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Any, before Daphne decides this, any questions for Daphne? Have a good evening,
Okay.
Daphne.
Great.
run Daphne, run. I was gonna shoot for 12 minutes.
If you Google New Hampshire Municipal, like two people on the same board, there's like a really nice explanation that goes through who can be on the ZBA and who else they can be on. It goes through bit by bit by bit, and there's a whole paragraph that is about planning plus select board. I found it very helpful because I was also confused, so.
So if you two are
recommended.
saying different things, should we just go with the RSA?
We're saying the same thing. Yep.
So this kind of happened before. I was elected to the ZBA and Ken was selectman's representative that wanted to leave the board.
Same thing.
All right, moving on.
So New England Dragway was invited to attend the meeting tonight to discuss their 23. They will make the meeting schedule and content. Suggest meet on the 4th, which is important because it's time to speed the process along because we're coming up on April. I wanted to see if you wanted to name and designate to meet with that board. Those prior discussions signing the raise permit,
So
which you can sign the permit on the 21st, but
it should be somebody that's gonna continue to be seated, so it should either be Jen, Russ, or John.
Is there a time frame that this has to be done by?
the raise permit begins April 1st.
April 1st.
And they start racing April 1st,
So it needs to be
whatever that Saturday
fairly
is.
soon if possible.
Yes.
Is it Saturday?
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
And the idea that this would be meeting who?
With Dragway and their
I know,
council.
And the chief.
And the chief.
With their council. I'm willing, I mean, I know we've talked about this. I think it's better for them to come to the whole board. If that won't work, I'm happy to go with the chief.
Chief, your recommendations?
Whoever the board.
No, do you think they should meet with the whole board or just a representative?
Next. A lot of parts, I think. And if 3 of us, whichever board member represents, can't sort of term to cover the whole district.
Jen.
I think we would send during the election meeting,
Probably.
but we would just have to work out.
Logistically, if it's all over you.
So there's a motion for Jen to represent, John seconds it. All in favor, Jen? Bob?
Aye.
Rebecca Dunham, Regional Associations. Come on down.
I am doing that. I have a copy of our report from our meeting back in January.
Thank you.
So I'm going to paraphrase. Yeah, I'm not going to verbatim. I'll go information. Committee met on June 18. There are 5 of us plus an alternate, so everyone was present. We did 2 points of business before we discussed the applications. We approved the minutes of the previous meeting, and then we approved the draft of the report that's going into the town annual report. That's the first time we've done that. So those 2 points of business were accomplished. This is the 4th year process in place which the Select Board set up 4 years ago, that a committee of citizens would review the applications. You know that an application form was created. Last year we made changes to the form for this year that we thought would be more effective, which they were. They were very helpful. That was including more about the resources received and then the time frame. Last year, I think it was 7 out of 9 applications were received after the deadline. So this year everyone came in at the deadline. which was good news. As far as giving in New Hampshire this year, in scanning reports, how generous New Hampshire citizens were. New Hampshire Fund said that New Hampshire residents were extremely in 22. Organizations were doing pretty well, given a couple that may not have benefited from that. There's an annual New Hampshire Gives where citizens and there are about 150 different organizations in New Hampshire. They set records last year, which is good news for organizations and for. When we reviewed the application, just it seemed one was doing very well. They were filling out the forms. They all seemed to be in pretty good financial condition. Some had surpluses, but not the kind of surpluses they had last year. Very grateful. A little easier to review the information. As in previous years, we prioritized direct services to residents. As past applications from groups that have budgets of $12 million that are not necessarily services to our town. So we're to have organizations sick are giving direct services to our residents. Review the summary. We do sort of an Excel summary of the information that comes on all the applications, including their annual report, their files, programs, their numbers, summarize that in sort of in form. We reviewed all of those and we looked at the request, realized it was about $507 more than in the previous years. We have gone over our budget. Last year we spent $5,000 that was budgeted. So we're very careful in how we deliberate what we're going to recommend for allocations. So as you can see in here, we decided to divide the $357 between all 6 organizations. So they all benefited from our generosity this year. I have here Austin House, 4,740. They did not apply last year. There was a change in leadership, so we were thinking catch up. Community Children's Fund through the Chamber of Commerce in Exeter always gives certificates and vouchers for kids to get warm clothes, blankets, etc. Rockingham Nutrition Meals on Wheels, they've been very good. They have to solicit donations to match federal funds, and they always to the penny. So we're very pleased with that. TASK is the citizen volunteer drivers for people who need to go to medical appointments. Waypoint, this is our Southern Services. That used to be Rockingham Community Action, merged within the state. So their budget doubled. We looked at what they gave. They gave more last year to Brentwood residents than the $6,000 more than the previous year. And implements for heating costs, et cetera, et cetera. TASK, as I said, is the driver for volunteers to get medical appointments. And sometimes the clients contribute a little bit towards their costs. So it's a very interactive, very, very good relationship. Waypoint, the last one, this Waypoint has always applied to us. Last year they did not because they were absorbing and taking on the Richmond Children's Center. So they merged January 1 of 2022. So we had no action from Waypoint last year. So we decided this year to support Richie McFarland Waypoint because they do services to kids in Brentwood. Totaling their applications 2,097, and this is 5,000 we gave away last year, and we've never gone over that before.
We're budgeted for 17.5.
We're budgeted for 17.5, and that has been level for 4 years. So we've always worked very hard to determine what the best way would be to allocate these funds, and I complimenting who they ask questions, look at the material, really thought in their discussions, and this is a unanimous decision to do this. Looking ahead to next, one more thing, I will provide Karen a summary, not a summary, but a list of all the organizations, the primary contact persons, so that she can notify the organizations in April. Looking ahead, we know how the economy is going to fare in the next year. There's all kinds of talk about recessions. There might be more federal given Inflation is an issue for a lot of organizations. So we're requesting that for next year, we might ask for the budget to go up to 18,000 even. That's a 500 increase. I think that's pretty, we just can't predict what the next year will be. But the committee is going to release. We're deliberate. We have a track record now with these organizations. We know more about them, continuity, relationship. We know how they serve our clients. So I think it's been a success to have it set up this way. It's a fair process. Everyone's on an even playing field. There's no favoritism. I think success. I think what should be our recommendation.
The second addition to that is the board. I'd like to thank you for the hard work you
Please,
put
yes.
into.
Laura's here. Or you have something? Yes.
I just want to add, like, for the meeting now, really quickly, because we just want to thank Becky, because she does the preliminary of like pulling out from the applications, so that we just like somewhere get to compare apples, so that we can go back. We've done the other more detailed information, but she makes it very, very for our case. So I think it goes hours so that we can do it.
And they forgive my typos. One last piece of business. We need to review the terms of office, and I can come back to you for that and vote at another meeting. I think there are 2 people who need to be renewed. Okay?
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a motion and second. All in favor? Jen?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks, Becky.
And chairs, projectors? No?
You know,
Okay.
table,
Let's wait for the next,
literally, table.
the next one.
That's the next board.
Okay,
Anything else?
that concludes my meeting then.
This little and
Public comment.
It's always great, just.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your service.
Paul,
We might have touch base with Kip on a health officer. That came up for a property from the police. We were put on alert. Yeah, it's on Bill Road. I got so,
You can keep that copy,
okay.
and then if you want to just email me your schedule for the next few days.
Okay. So Kip and I will go out there, we'll check that out. To see what needs to be addressed. Do we have to make the tenant, because it's the tenant,
It's a property owner.
so the property owner, so we'll have to do that with the property owner. Then we did go out last week to 313 Route 125, check the water. So 2 different days in a row, I went out there and checked their water, everything's fine. There is contingencies in place. They have a holding tank that's down in the basement. They have an expansion tank and this holding tank. The holding tank is probably like from me to, it's huge, 6 feet. It's a go through KIP electrical permits, but other than
So because there's a plan in place, we're okay.
yep, and there's running when I was I had is from prior inspector is the top 100 anything over 120 is a scald, so I did tell them they have to But other than that, I'm good.
Jen?
Just a reminder from the school perspective that their business meeting is this Friday, 10th. And so folks interested in going to that, it will be, I think it's at 6 p.m., I believe, on the 10th. I think that's all right, Letty, right, 6? I don't know, yes? Yes,
Letty
looks like a
saying
yes.
yes.
I'm seeing a head yes.
Loud.
Out and proud. I have nothing. Go to some public comment.
No, it's good, I don't have anything.
You don't count.
I'm not even here.
I had you muted. What?
He just throw his hands up.
Oh, Jen.
That's fair.
Liz Faria, South Road, I just had, maybe I just was not paying well enough attention, which is perfectly possible. Jen, can you tell me what the drag's meeting is about? What was it?
So, there have been some back and forth discussions between the Dragway and our police department and the town about permitting and about whose responsibility it is for road safety and traffic safety. And there's some disagreements in that area that need to be worked out. So we are trying to set up a face-to-face meeting to get those things worked out so we can move forward.
And it also involves Epic, right?
Correct.
So it's Epping Police, Brentwood Police, the drag people.
It's really, my understanding is these discussions are between the Dragway and us. The Dragway has a professional relationship with Epping PD that is sort of separate from our discussions with the Dragway, if I believe I'm stating that correctly. Karen, is that correct? Yes.
And so why is ours not professional leading as well?
That is part of the discussion. There are some disagreements about who should be in charge of all policing and road safety relating to the Dragway. And it's an awkward situation given the location of the Dragway, because the roads are in Brentwood, but the Dragway is in Epping.
So didn't we always split it in the past?
That's not the plan for this next year,
It's not the plan for the future?
as far as the Dragway is telling us. So we are gonna work that out in hopefully face-to-face discussions. Electronic discussions have not been super helpful so far, so we're gonna try face-to-face.
Thank you.
Michelle?
Michelle Sujit, Middle Road. I was reviewing the selectmen's minutes from January 17th, and I would like you to make a correction, please. The section that says, when you're talking about the exemptions, you said Jack Mitchell, Budget Committee Chairperson, and although he is that, these exemptions were not put forth by the Budget Committee, so I think it should be clarified.
Was it by him as an individual? Not,
It was by him and a few individuals, but it was
Oh.
nothing that the Budget Committee
Gotcha.
ever voted on or anything.
that was
So
my
I
misunderstanding.
think there should be a clarification.
Sure.
Would you open the minutes and change those, please?
Make a motion to modify.
Sure. I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to modify January 17, 2023. Third paragraph, either remove Budget Committee Chairperson or add not speaking on behalf of the Budget Committee.
Sounds good.
Which one would we like?
I like go with the Letty terminology. Not speaking as a representative of the board, speaking on an individual basis. I'm sure
Do
we
I
can
have
capture
a motion to approve the amended minutes?
motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, Jen?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
John?
Now he's on mute.
John's got to unmute, I need a verbal aye. Or maybe not. John's an aye.
It's an aye.
Aye, there we go. There's a little delay. Any other public comment? Ms. Faria?
Liz Faria, South Road. I just have one other comment. In the past, we've always been able to get from the Budget Committee or the town or both the total compensation of town employees. Why are we no longer able to get that? I have
Each-
21, I have 22.
Each employee's different now?
No, I know. they're all different. 21 was different, 22 is different. It seems to be like pulling teeth to try to get anything.
They're
So
still
the-
in the book, aren't they?
so-
The proposed budget.
So, the select board is, for the evaluation process in '23, that is gonna be part for each employee. So there was nothing handed out to the employee and documented this year.
I'm talking about proposed, that we're supposed to vote on at town meeting.
The town doesn't vote on the benefit package, they just vote
No,
on,
we get to know what town employees are making to vote as part of the operating budget. So how do we get that?
And the insurance was always what they were eligible for, not what they were elected for, so it
You-
never
you
represented
have-
the total compensation package.
the insurance budget, and then you have the payroll budget. And then you have what
There's
retirement is.
FICA, and then there's,
That's all
retirement.
that's all part of the budget.
Okay, but nobody has it, like none of the selectmen and none of the budget committee has these numbers? How do you, I'm just missing a piece here. Like every other year,
Has that been
We're
publicly
able to
released in
get-
prior years?
So the
you know,
total,
this is the, whoever you want to talk about, you know, like this is the planning boards, what they make,
Okay,
here's
can
what
you-
they get.
Liz,
We're
hold on
not
a sec,
naming people.
hold on a sec. Can you speak to what's been released in prior years?
what's been released in prior years is proposed budget figures with what benefits packages employees are eligible for. So what the employee's total compensation package is not public information because their medical election is not public information, that's
Right.
HIPAA protected.
Right.
And so we've always, if the budget committee had requested it, we had given them information on what they were eligible for. So that would be every employee at the total family plan, at the family dental plan, and then max benefits for short-term disability life and I think that's it, short-term and disability.
Was that not
Retirement.
requested this year by BudCom?
They kept asking for each employee's total compensation package,
Which we don't
which we do
offer.
offer.
We do offer, we offered it in class this year.
We've never offered each employee's because it's illegal. We've
It
ordered,
doesn't say their names, it just says the, you know, the, whatever their position is. We've gotten it in 22, we've gotten it in 21.
We have been given total compensation.
We haven't been told.
But those were just benefits eligible packages. Those were not what each individual employee is
Incorrect.
benefit
They
for.
have. Incorrect.
It is true, because I prepared the
She
document
made
for
them,
you.
she made them.
I know what I gave you.
Well, it was 102 for life insurance, it was
That
short-term
was probably
disability
maximal.
change.
Yes.
It was
dental
maximal.
It was what?
It sounds like it was the maximal figure possible that was
For
provided.
each person.
It was set up whether it was a two-person plan on health, or last year was 23,000 and something dollars for a family plan. A two-person was 17,000 something.
It
Some
sounds
people
like if the
think
BudCom wants some sort of document, like they've gotten in years past, Karen could produce that.
I asked for that this year, and she did not produce it.
Because she asked for total compensation packages over and over
We
and over.
we have it from 21, we have it from 22.
Sounds like there was a misalignment of what was being asked for.
Budget committee did not get it, we have
Budget
asked
committee done,
over and over.
Lois was on it, she asked for it, Michelle was on it, she asked for it. I don't believe Jack has it.
No, Jack is lying, sure it doesn't.
Why don't we take this offline? I mean, certainly whatever we produced in the past that is HIPAA compliant could be produced again, but that is not a total compensation package.
I can prove it.
It sounds like it's just like an apples oranges thing. They're almost the same, but not identical. And we have talked about at this board, working towards providing employees with a total compensation package, as like a lot of companies do.
Correct.
But that would not be public record, correct?
And that would be done in conjunction with their performance review.
Correct.
The taxpayers pay the salaries of the people in the municipality. So as employers, we have the right to know what we are paying the municipal employees.
and you do by the budget.
No, we just have a general,
Each budget's broken out into what you pay.
so you're supposed to know how many full-time firemen we have, how many part-time firemen have, how many, or not part-time, per diem, how many full-time.
When the
We're
budget,
supposed to all know that?
when the budget committee is presented, they've presented each number of employees at whatever rate they have.
Well, I hope to get it next year when I'm on the budget committee, because this is ridiculous.
Lois?
Lois Dion, Holly Falls Road. Different question. SB two. I would like an explanation as to how, let's see how I phrase this
what happened, it went from one, town, from what, outside, it went from the town, on the town ballot to the town, meeting. I would like to know how that happened and what caused it and how it's rectified and what did the error cost us?
So we talked about this last meeting, everything about, except for what it cost us, because we didn't have a figure at that time?
And we still do not.
Huh?
We still don't have
You
that.
still don't have a figure? Did they not bill us yet for the
They
second
have not.
Just a
ballots?
reprint, right?
Right.
Take a stab.
We had that at the town meeting.
So my understanding of what occurred.
So until we get the bill, we don't know, but we should have the bill shortly.
So what occurred is.
I don't think the reprint's gonna cost the same amount as the print.
Hopefully not, yeah. So what occurred is historically, these questions had always been on the ballot. We were not aware that the RSA had changed in the past few years since the last time it had been on the Brentwood ballot. And the advice that we got from our legal counsel was a little bit confusing because it used the word warrant. And so there was a misunderstanding that happened in the town offices. Once it was realized that that was an error, it has been corrected with the reprint.
That's my question, how did you find the error? Did your council find that? Or did you have that?
Karen, can you speak to how the error was identified? I'm not
A
sure.
resident called Daphne and then she contacted me. And then I worked with council to rectify the situation.
It was a misunderstanding based on not realizing that the RSA had been modified.
Right, 'cause the
It is
board
my
signs.
understanding, if you'll excuse me, that it was brought to your attention by the Brentwood newsletter. And I believe that that's a huge thank you, because the town, if you had gone and had an election, would have been invalid. I think, because it didn't belong in the right place. And I think that needs to be recognized, that who actually found the error, and who found it for you and helped and did this for our town.
I'm thankful to whoever brought it forward because it was a human
It was
error.
the Brentwood newsletter.
So
and
if it was, then thank you.
for the letter.
Michelle?
Do you have, I don't know if you have them here, copies of the warrants that were posted? Like with the.
I do have a copy in my binder.
Form with
Yes.
the date and the,
Yeah, they're in here.
You're gonna be giving us a new print.
The,
right?
which one, the current one or the original one?
They're both in here.
the current one.
So the current one is in the new annual report. It's a pullout.
I'm talking about the front page of the warrant, when you have
So it was originally
the date,
signed
time,
on
page, and all that stuff.
Oh,
Do you have one of those?
It's in here.
I don't have one of them handy. Is it in the book?
I think it's in the book.
I think it's printed with the one in the book has the,
It's right here.
it was originally signed on the 14th.
It's page 11.
Oh, it says it was signed by the 22nd. It was posted on the 27th because that's what the statute allowed. Which budget had to be printed by the 22nd.
The one on, when was that
That's what that
printed?
These were sent to the publishers on the 20th, I believe, the 19th.
So prior to the change about SB two, is that correct?
Yeah.
Right, which is why
That's why
this,
there's an insert.
there's an
So
insert
do you
separate.
have that front page, do you have a new front page of that?
We have an amendment insert that's gonna go in the book,
Right.
She's talking about an amended one of these.
amended book.
But
Changed.
nothing's changed on the front page.
Who signed?
So it was Andy
I'm wondering
and
about these two
Rob.
pages, because as a budget committee person, yes, but that says,
Right, so this
that
should have
says
been,
February
this should have been the
22nd, which would have
27th.
been.
Because the 27th is the legal date,
Right,
was the last
so
date
do
for
you
the
have
warrant
an
to be posted.
official one that's actually correct with the right signatures and date on there? Because that date would be not the 22nd, I don't know what date.
The 22nd is the date the budget had to have been posted, so that should have been the 27th.
So I'm just wondering, so when, as a budget committee member, this is what I got, and they're blank? When Jack forwarded the warrant, so I was just.
Oh, so you need,
So I was
You
just.
want
so
the
you
signed
want
here.
a signed
If you
copy
had
of that,
an
got it.
official one, because
Okay,
I was,
that's wrong,
okay.
right?
well, no, this is right, because all the information is correct.
Well, I guess it's right for this, but it's not right for this. Do you
Right.
follow? Yeah?
So this is just, yes.
Yes,
And then the one for the school had nothing. Like no
that's
date.
what I got from the school.
We don't,
How is
So
that
that's up to
powered?
the school board. So what the school board posts and what the school board submitted to me.
it's,
They signed a document and they posted the one that was filled here. The school board did, I believe. But I don't fill out that form.
And they're signed?
The school board one was not signed, the one that was in here, because I didn't have it in time.
okay.
Well, it's signed, but the top portion is not completed.
So we need to get the budget committee another
Cover page.
cover page.
That's not, yeah, I mean,
She wants the full
the one
package, which is
posted
fine.
on the website is the old one.
Yes, I need to update it with SB2.
I guess just looking for validity, that everything's done properly and the right amount of time and on the right date and
Understood.
posted everywhere it needed to be posted. Actually, that leads me actually to another question. Where was it posted?
At the town office and the Swayze School.
Isn't it supposed to be printed somewhere
It is printed and posted there. Oh,
in a publication?
no, it has to be posted it has to be at the town office and at the polling location.
What town else in there?
The voting location.
So
the
usually
school-
it's posted here, Swayze and the BRC, but because we're not using the BRC this year, it's just the two.
Liz?
Liz Bria, South Road. By the way, Michelle lives on Middle Road. I think they know where I live too. What is is there a way to, look at replacing the town attorney? How is that done?
That would be the business of the select board.
So it's a select board thing. So if over the years we have felt like the town attorney has not really helped in some various capacities, we could ask the select board to.
I know in years
Look at
past,
that.
we've had some changes, and that was due to illness and, of some council, but
But I mean, don't you periodically look, I don't know, I mean, Andy, you know, you've been on there a long time.
Yeah, we've-
Don't we periodically look at how competent the town attorney is?
Yeah, usually we don't have a problem with the town attorney, because we don't always go to the town attorney. We would start with Primex, New Hampshire Municipals, free sources before we go to something we pay by the minute for. So yeah, we don't always go right to the town attorney. Most of it's run by Primex, who is our little liability insurance, and then New Hampshire Municipals, who is an association we belong to of government
So
organizations.
you didn't consult the attorney before putting SB2 on the voting day?
What is that?
That was
That's
New Hampshire Municipal, correct?
I didn't consult them because that's what the statute had been historically, so I didn't consult them again. I contacted them
The
after.
original posting was not brought through an attorney.
Was it brought to the New Hampshire Municipal Association?
The original posting was not brought to an attorney. The rest is an employee thing that the board's handled.
So it was put up there, but it wasn't,
We're not going to discuss it anymore.
okay, trying to understand.
It was done in error, human error.
It's been corrected.
Michelle?
I'm sorry to keep pursuing this, but, what is the date by which the warrant needs to be posted?
The 27th,
Okay, well, what's on the website right now is still that old
right.
signature,
So I need to update the website.
so it's not properly posted.
No, it only has to be posted in the town office and at this polling location. It doesn't need to be posted on the website.
the
That
website's
was-
a courtesy.
That was done as a courtesy,
By the right date.
which it was posted at the town office and at Swayze by the right date.
The official copies are at the town office building out and at the Swayze School. Any other?
We have legal counsel going to the meeting, right?
Yes,
Yeah, they
that
always
cover page is the one that's posted.
Oh, we usually have to vote on it, which I think we did, but.
This one?
I'm not sure.
Because I didn't change this today. did I? I changed this date here. I just have to put these pages here.
So is it legally posted by just updating these?
I mean, it was posted at the same date. I think this certification.
Uh-huh.
I have to hold on to it.
So, there's a discussion to the fact that a new cover page was never put out, just the warrant itself was updated. So we're gonna have to check with town council to see what that means.
But it was up on the 27th, which is the last date it was supposed to do.
Basically, we kept the cover page and put in a new
Update.
warrant. So any other public questions?
No school budget payments, so no,
Nope, no school budget payments. You missed the
no, I was here for it.
$750,000 last week.
I had it, no, it's here.
All right, hearing nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night, John. Appreciate it.
No, you can take it for the minutes and then just make sure you keep it because I'll need to file it. So let me know how to disperse the money.